Twisteds. These are the main threats that you come across in Dandy's world. They come in all shapes and sizes. Some big, some small, some easy, some not so much. But regardless of how much of a nuisance they are, each Twisted has its own unique ability. Right? The Twisteds are sorted into 5 different categories: common, uncommon, rare, main, and lethal. Each rarity past common has some unique attribute or ability that makes them more than just a common. Today, I'm going to be taking 3 toons and turning their twisted forms from common to anything but common. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Alright, let's get right into this. Up first, Boxton. I think Boxton has a fairly strong design for a common toon. I really like the hands coming out of his head. It's much more unique than the other 2 Twisteds I'm going to be covering today. Although his design is solid, it could be a lot better in my opinion. I want to dive deeper into the spooky hands aesthetic and make it more pronounced in his design. A big inspiration for his redesign was Twisted Yatta. I think her design is simple but solid for a common. Walking on her tails instead of her legs is a really cool idea, and I want more Twisteds to have unique modes of transportation, like Yatta or Finn. Flipping him upside down and adding 2 extra hands is a really big upgrade for this design, and I'd love to see more Twisteds adopt the idea of pushing their already solid designs even further. For his new ability, I want it to be relatively simple and also take a little inspiration from his playable toon mechanic, that being extracting faster. Upon getting hit, Twisted Boxton would inflict the player with confusion, confusing them for around 20 seconds. This incentivizes newcomers to try and avoid getting hit, in case that wasn't obvious, and introduces them to the confusion mechanic before someone like Shelly does. It only activates on hit, making him less of a nuisance and more of an avoidable inconvenience. Easy for experts and a little challenging for newcomers. And here's his new design compared to his old one. I really like how it turned out. I would not want to see this coming towards me in a blackout. Up next on the chopping block, we have Poppy. I felt like doing Poppy was a requirement, seeing as I did Boxton, the other starter toon. Unlike Boxton, however, I feel like Twisted Poppy has a very lacking and uninspired design. All that really changes is her bow becomes droopy and she gets covered in ichor. Editor's note, I know I'm pronouncing ichor wrong. I pronounce it ichor here. It will happen again, so sorry. Which happens to every other Twisted too, so not the most unique trait to have. Because Poppy has no strong concept to exaggerate like Boxton does, I decided to take some inspiration from Poppy's real-life counterpart, a bubble. Despite her name being Poppy, and her design being based on that of a bubble, she doesn't ever, pop. Which is kind of a missed opportunity. I feel like this idea could have also been used with Twisted Louie, the whole popping thing, but I think it fits Poppy better, since bubbles are a lot more fragile than a balloon when you put them side by side. My original concept was just giving her no head at all and having her bow rest on her neck, but I felt like that would be kind of bland and make her hard to recognize from a distance. Another issue common Twisteds have is that they all look so similar to their toon counterparts, leading to confusion in matches. I can't tell you how many times I've walked up to a Poppy thinking she was my teammate and immediately got hit. So, what about her ability? Similar to Boxton, she takes inspiration from her playable ability, getting speed on hit. Instead of you getting faster, however, you get slower for 3 seconds. This is really punishing for new players if they don't learn to save their stamina, so it's another good learning experience. Another pretty simple mechanic, but she is a simple toon after all. And here she is, the brand new Twisted Poppy next to her classic design. I absolutely love how weird this one is. Definitely a unique design, that's for sure. Despite being a common Twisted, Tisha actually does have a unique ability technically. There's a few common toons that have very minor differences, which aren't enough to turn them into uncommons, but still unique regardless. Some examples include Brush's extended range, Shrimpo's lack of speed, and Tisha's cleaning mechanic. Every once in a while, Tisha will stop to clean the floor for a few seconds, and then go back to roaming the floor, like the other commons do. I think because she already has a mechanic, even if minor, I'm going to expand on that and keep her identity clear. For her new ability, drawing her attention during her cleaning phase would give her increased movement speed for around 5 seconds, and alert other nearby toons, giving them a slight speed boost as well. This mechanic would keep her already existing one and add on top of it, instead of getting rid of it and replacing it with something else. I like to think she gets really mad that you interrupted her peaceful sweeping, and that's why she gets so fast. As for alerting other toons, the radius would be very small, not like the one on machines, and is meant to be a spin on her playable ability, where she grants her own teammates a speed boost. Now for her design, I'm keeping her body mostly the same, and mainly focusing on her namesake, the tissues. Again, her twisted design is nothing but a texture swap, which is pretty disappointing. I made her design a lot more messy, with tissues flying all over, and covered her in a little more ichor. I lengthened the tissue on her head because that's her key feature, and I want to highlight it. I made it long enough so it would drag on the ground behind her and clean up all the ink-stained footsteps she leaves. I like adding small details like this. I think it ties a design together, and fits well with her whole cleaning motif. And here she is, the new Twisted Tisha, and the old one too. Putting them side by side shows just how good her new silhouette is, which is a very important part of a good character design. Definitely an improvement over her base design for sure. Remember not to get in her way. Pretty neat, right? Even just a few small changes can make a design go from good to great. I really enjoyed making these redesigns, and I hope to do some more in the future. Comment down below who your favorite is, and who you want to see me do next. And maybe they might appear in the next redesign video I do. Don't forget to subscribe so you can catch that when it comes out. That's all I've got for today though. The Easter event comes out super soon, and I'm gonna be grinding as much as I can to get all the new skins, so hopefully I'll still have enough spare time to make more videos. And while we're on the topic of Easter, don't forget to check out my other video I just made. It's got a bunch of cool new skins. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until next time, catch you later.